Welcome to the Natural Way of Being video blog. This video is titled, Allowing Yourself to Feel. Can you feel it? The days are getting shorter. To me, it feels like things are starting to close in a little bit. And visually, they kind of are closing in. There's less light. Our field of vision is starting to shrink a little bit. And, in the medicine wheel, we call it the time of introspection, which is the time to look inside. It's like it's darker outside, so we're more naturally looking inside. And this happens every year, especially right after the time changes when I really notice it. And it's a feeling that I sense, and I can sense it in my friends and my clients as well. But this year, it's extra special, right? As you might agree that this year has been extra special in so many ways. And what I think is really big right now is kind of the prospect of a COVID winter. Last winter, COVID hit toward the end, maybe March, and we got a little bit of COVID winter, but then it got nice. This year, it's like, here we are. We're going into the full winter, and it's like, here we go. It's COVID again. And some of us emotionally barely survived last winter, right? And it's like, okay, here we go. And now it's like however many months, 4 months, 5 months. I'm not trying to depress you, but it's like, I think that's what we're naturally feeling. And then with this, there's like a whole lot of uncertainty, right? With the election and all the different stuff, all the change that's going on. There's just, our routines are just disrupted, and the uncertainty is we just really don't know what's gonna happen. So typically the way we deal with times like this is we ingeniously find ways to not feel what's going on. And this is usually unconscious, but we get in various habits or little patterns. It's like we might be buying things, maybe spending a little extra time on Amazon, or maybe we're compulsively working. We're getting that project done. I've been definitely doing some of that. Or we might be drinking more, or smoking a little extra pot, or eating our feelings, or exercising compulsively. And it's not like any of these things are wrong or even unhealthy. It's kind of the way we do them that gets to be a concern. It's like, are we doing them for their own sake, or are we doing them to avoid feeling or to avoid something? And I think whenever we're doing something habitually and often unconsciously to avoid things, then it gets to be a concern. It gets to be maybe not the most healthy dynamic for us. As an alternative, rather than trying to eradicate these things, which rarely works, right? Because we get in a power struggle with our ego or our mind, and we just beat ourselves up. And what if we just notice them? It's like, that's interesting. I seem to be doing this a little more. And then we could ask ourselves, what am I not allowing myself to feel? And then when we got an answer to that question, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, then we could find someone to talk about it with. So it's kind of like a 3-step process in a way. It's like we're noticing for the first step, then we're asking what am I not feeling? And then we're talking to someone about it. Sounds simple, right? Piece of cake. So it's like, it seems like I was shopping a little extra on Amazon this morning. And then it's like, I wonder if there's something I was not allowing myself to feel. And then you find a friend and you say, I think I'm sad that I don't have anyone to share my life with right now, and we're going into another winter. So I think a really important component of all this is with the behavior itself is to realize it's not bad or wrong. So let's lose the self-judgment and find some much needed self-compassion and just look at what's there, And so the first step is just kind of this, I call it noticing. And it's just noticing without trying to change it. It's like inquisitive process. It's like, that's interesting. And just noticing it without any judgment. The second step we can use some self-inquiry. And self-inquiry is like asking a question to life or spirit or God or ourself, and then being open to the answer. And so in this case, we're using, it's like, so what am I not allowing myself to feel? Is my self-inquiry question. And then we just kind of wait for an answer. And the answer might come a couple of days later, and it comes in maybe a form we're not used to, but usually an answer will come. It's like, oh, that's what I'm not allowing myself to feel. And then the third step is like, calling up a friend, texting a friend saying, hey, let's get together for coffee because I need to share something with you. And it maybe gives him or her an opportunity to share a little bit what's going on with them too. So we got to get over, not imposing on people. Trust me, this is probably really good for your friend that you're reluctant to call. It probably won't hurt them a bit, to get them in touch with what's going on with them. So let's see if I can come up with another silly example here. So it's like, it seems like I've been binging on Netflix pretty strong these days. I'm watching 4 episodes instead of 2 episodes at night, or whatever. I'm just making this up. And then it's like, I wonder if there's something I'm not allowing myself to feel. Some self-inquiry. You could talk to a spirit, God, life. Is there something I'm not wanting to feel? Could you show me what it is? It's a nice little prayer or an intention. And then find a friend. Ideally in person. Especially right now because we're so isolated. It's like I really like that we can kind of share the energy. We can do a hug afterward. That's ideal. But if we can't, we could get on Zoom or get on the phone or whatever. But as much intimacy as possible would be cool because then we can really allow our feelings out and have them. And then we see someone, and we want to find a friend that's not threatened by what we're feeling. That may seem obvious, but remember, other people are trying not to feel too. So you want to find a friend that's open to feeling, and then they'll be open to your feelings because your feelings tend to cause them to have feelings. So you kind of want a feeling friend, not a shut down friend. Shut down friends are great, but not for this. So anyway, there's something to try. It's not always the most pleasant practice, but there's so much healing, and in a sick sort of way, it's kind of like it's kind of an opportunity. This time of year, the COVID. I know it's. You've heard this before. Oh, it's an opportunity with COVID. But this time of year and this closing in thing and this feeling and the behaviors, rather than beating yourself up, see them as an opportunity because it allows you to get in touch with something. It allows you to let some feelings come out, to let some healing happen. So go have fun with it as much as you can. Sometimes it may not feel fun, but do it anyway. And enjoy yourself this week. Thanks a lot for giving this a shot.